Hey, my name is Chris Johnson, and I saw something recently that really fucking confused me. It was Thanksgiving Day. I was sitting on my ass watching football. I'm getting ready to go to like my fucking aunt's house for a fucking dinner, and I'm just watching the fucking Lions game. I don't even remember who the fuck they were playing. The Bears, I think. Lions, Bears, who fucking cares? And the halftime show was coming on. And halftime shows are the dumbest thing in the world. I don't fucking understand halftime shows. They make no fucking sense. Sports, actually football is the only fucking sport that does this. Football's the only sport where, like, you buy a fucking ticket to go to some kind of show, and then halfway through the show, they give you a completely different kind of show. I saw something that some, like, douchebag reporter was like, I've never gone to, like, a fucking concert, and then halfway through, they were like, we're going to play a football game for 15 minutes. Like, nobody does that. Who the fuck wants to watch a fucking concert, like, in the middle of a football game? And it's always dog shit. Like, they make a big deal about the Super Bowl halftime show. They're like, oh my God, Prince is playing the Super Bowl halftime show. Who fucking cares? I don't give a shit who plays the fucking Super Bowl halftime show. It sucks. It's always going to suck. It doesn't matter if the guy's good or not. Because they play like 3 songs on a fucking hastily constructed stage. It sounds like dog shit in most fucking cases. I remember, like, Bruno Mars was a big deal. Like, the Bruno Mars halftime show. And I gotta say, like, as far as halftime shows go, his was pretty good. Like, I didn't walk away from it thinking, like, this guy fucking sucks. He fucking danced around and shit. And he sounded fine, I guess. I don't know what the fuck Bruno Mars is supposed to sound like. But, like, I remember the next day, I was still working at radio. They're like, Chris, what did you think about the Bruno Mars halftime show? I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't give a fuck about it. Like, I was watching the football game. I don't give a fuck about the halftime show. But their halftime shows are like a fucking thing. So they do them at Super Bowls and some other, like, big-time games. They do them at the fucking Thanksgiving Day game, apparently, and I always forget. I never know what's coming, and I always get pissed when I see it. So they did a couple things at this Lions-Bears Thanksgiving Day halftime show that I thought was incredibly fucking stupid. First off, as I'm sitting on my couch, they're like, ladies and gentlemen, let me direct your attention to the field. And I thought, you're not going to direct my attention to shit. Like, I'm staring at the fucking screen. Like, I'm going to watch whatever the fuck you put on there. So you direct your fucking cameraman to the field, and then I'll watch it. And if you're talking to people there, you don't have to tell the people in the stadium to direct their attention to the field. 1, they just watched the fucking stage being built before their fucking eyes, so they know what's going on. 2, where the fuck do you think they're going to do? Look up at the fucking sky? Like, all of a sudden the band starts playing. Like, where the fuck is this coming from? Holy shit, like, what's happening here? Like, you don't have to direct anybody's attention to the fucking field. It's where fucking everything happens. And then the fucking announcer guy was like, this is who's playing. Mike Posner and the legendary Mike Posner Band. And I thought to myself, who the fuck is Mike Posner? I didn't even know that motherfucker existed, let alone that he had a band that was allegedly legendary. What the fuck are you talking about, legendary Mike Posner Band? Don't you have to have accomplished something to be considered legendary? Now, I think the music industry sucks. The music business sucks overall because the music business doesn't give a shit about making good music. Here's what the music business wants to do: make money. I don't give a fuck if they want to make money, but just don't tell me that it's about making music. It's all just a big fucking circle jerk. The big fucking companies that control all the fucking music media, the big time record companies, don't give a fuck. They don't give a flying fuck about making good songs. They just think like, hey, wait a second. Did that douchebag teen song last year make a lot of fucking money? Let's see if I can find a douchebag teen to make a very similar song so that can make a lot of money as well. That's all it's about. Like, it's not really about like music or the fucking art or the songs or any of that bullshit. It's just about fucking cash. It's a fucking cash grab all the time. It sucks. So that's why a lot of the music sucks. Like, people don't understand that for some reason. They'll be like, man, turn on the radio. There's nothing good on the radio. Yeah, because the music industry sucks. It's terrible. I got news for you as well. Being a guy who worked in radio for 10.5 years, I know I worked in the fucking news portion of radio, but there are music stations in-house. I know a lot about music radio as well. A lot of the shit that you're hearing on music radio has been fucking pre-packaged and pre-selected for your fucking asses. And you might be thinking, oh, wait a minute. What about the request line? They know what you're going to request. You're going to request like the new song, so it's already planned in there. So they'll just stick it in to give you like some kind of illusion of control. It's just like everything else in this douchebag fucking society. It sucks. It's vapid. There's not much to it. And it's only out there to make money. But even so, even though the music industry sucks a big fat plate of dicks, at least, like, I've heard of some of these people. And even though I hate the music industry, it doesn't mean that everybody that makes it sucks. Doesn't mean it's all terrible. Just means almost all of it's terrible. But I've never heard of fucking Mike Posner and his fucking legendary douchebag band. And here's another thing that really pisses me off about that. So I looked him up. I'm like, who the fuck is this asshole? So I go to the old Google and I type in like Mike Posner, and then I see all these fucking articles and they say shit like Twitter roasts the fucking Lions halftime show. And I'm so fucking tired of people telling me that Twitter roasts anything, because Twitter is nothing. Twitter is us. Twitter's a group of assholes. Twitter's not a fucking thing with cognitive thought. The Twitter doesn't give a shit about anything. It's just a fucking platform, the article always has like 6 fucking quotes or 6 fucking tweets or some shit of people like making fun of it. And I think to myself, like, that's Twitter roasting it. You just cherry picked 6 fucking tweets from assholes like bitching about it. Dude, you could find 6 assholes that bitch about fucking anything. Twitter is worldwide. Everybody's fucking on Twitter. Jesus Christ could fucking descend from the heavens and cure AIDS, and 5 assholes on Twitter would fucking bitch about it. So that's nothing. That doesn't prove a fucking thing. And that's lazy. How fucking lazy is that? Like, you call that a fucking article, you sick sack of shit? Like, hey man, I gotta put a piece up about the fucking halftime show. What am I gonna do? Oh, I'll write 25% of it, and the other 75% will be just tweets that I found. You lazy piece of shit. Jesus Christ, do some fucking work, you fucking bum. And here's my review of the performance. I watched 30 seconds of it. I thought this guy sucks. And then I turned off the TV. Well, I'll be back on Sundays and Wednesdays. That's when you get your new podcast episodes. I'm on Podbean. That is the host of the podcast. The Podbean website or the app. Get either one of those. I'm also on Apple Podcast, Google Play, Spotify. I'm on Twitter at Johnson Hates You. I'm on Instagram at Maybe 5 Minutes. That's a hot one. And I'm on Facebook too, so you can catch the podcast right in my timeline.